Welcome to Twin Chef's Videos. If you want to see more videos like this, give it a thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Good morning, or good evening, or whatever time you happen to be watching this video. Sorry to disappoint you, but the Twin Chefs won't be here today. You'll have to put up with me. I'm Cathie. What we're going to be doing today is fixing an Irish meal. Now, we come from Irish background, way down the line. Our last name is Riley. Riley is one of the top 10 common surnames from Ireland. My maiden name was Alsop. Alsop is one of the first known Irish names. Now, there's a couple of facts I'll tell you about the Irish, first of all. And first of all, I'm preparing this ahead of time before St. Patrick's Day, so that maybe you'll be able to make this dinner for your bunch on St. Patrick's Day. Now, everybody, I guess, has a coat of arms. The Rileys, and our spelling of her last name is R-E-I-L-L-Y, which is the original spelling. You'll have other spellings, or O'Reilly. The O on the O'Reilly stands for House of Riley. But I want you to take a look at this coat of arms for the Rileys. I'll bring it in close here so you can see it. Just look at that. You see that hand and the drops of blood dropping from the hand? Well, what that is the Rileys, when they were in battle, they would cut off the hand of their enemy, and then they'd put them on poles, hold them high in the air, and travel around proud of that cut off hand. I mean, isn't that gross? But anyway, let's get on to the color, the green color. I've often wondered where that comes from. And I know there's shamrocks in Ireland and leprechauns and all that. But I wonder, let me get this apron on while I'm talking. I've wondered why is the color green so significant with St. Patrick's Day, Ireland? The meaning of the color green has been tied to St. Patrick since he came to Ireland in the 5th century as a missionary to evangelize the Irish. During this time, he used shamrocks as a teaching tool, assigning religious meaning to each of the 3 leaves. The shamrock leaves represented the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And here's a picture, kind of a diagram of what I'm talking about. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So he used the green shamrocks as a teaching tool. And the meaning of the color green is also tied to the entire island of Ireland, which is often referred to as Emerald Island. The first instance of Ireland being called the Emerald Isle dates back to the poem called When Irwin First Rose, written in 1795 by William Drennan. In leprechaun folklore, the color green is magical. It's believed that if a person wears St. Patrick's green, it will make them invisible to leprechauns. This is a good thing because lore says leprechauns pinch anyone they can see. That's where the fabrication comes, that you wear green or you're going to be pinched. So that's a little bit about the background of the color green. Obviously it doesn't include any green aliens. I won't go into all that, but anyway. Now what we're going to fix today, first of all, is corned beef and cabbage in a slow cooker. We'll add our potatoes and carrots later on. And then we're going to have some Irish soda bread. That's a traditional bread in Ireland, dating way back for centuries. And then we'll have a little green dessert. The first thing we want to do is put these gloves on. Should have already had this done. Now I've got a slow cooker, a crock pot here. And first thing we're going to do is put these wedges of onion in the bottom of the slow cooker. You may not like onions, but they give it that's part of the seasoning. We'll put that on the very bottom. And then I've got a 4.3 pound corned beef pork cut brisket. And I'll open this. Now you're going to see a bloody mess come out of here. Now you don't rinse this meat. I know you might have an urge to rinse it because it's covered in blood. But if the Rileys can run around with a bloody hand on a stick, you know, that's. But anyway, you'll see a little packet of seasoning in there. You want to hang on to that. As I said, you don't rinse this. You put this brisket on top of the onions, fat side up. Just like that. See, it's on top of the onions. Then open this little package of seasoning that came in the package. Put it on the very top. Just kind of run it around the top a little bit with your fingers. Then you'll want to take a couple of bay leaves and put them along the side somewhere. Now, you want to put about 2.5 cups of water in there. However, I like to put a 1/2 cup of beer. Now, we don't drink beer. I don't like beer. It doesn't look good. It doesn't smell good. And we didn't have any beer, so a relative of ours donated a can of beer here. And I'm going to pour, instead of 2.5 cups of water, I'm going to pour in a 1/2 cup of beer and 2 cups of water. And the beer is to help tenderize the meat. Now see, beer doesn't even look good. It looks like, well, never mind. No, it looks like pee. Anyway, I'm pouring it around the outside of the meat. Let me show you what that looks like before I pour the water in there, if you can see that. I've got the seasoning spread on top. Now I'm going to pour the water around the outside. You want it to come up and about halfway cover the meat, so that's not quite enough. You'll need to put a little bit more, or maybe a little less. Then we'll have more to do with this, but for now, this needs to start cooking. It needs to cook between 8 and 10 hours on low. I'm going to start it on high and cut it back in about an hour because I'm a little bit late getting this started today, and if I don't do that, we won't have it done in time for dinner tonight. But I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. You need to put the lid on there and leave it on there. I'm told that every time you have an urge to peek at it, you take that lid off to just peek at it, it increases your cooking time by 30 minutes. So you don't want to be peeking at it. Peek through the glass lid. Don't be peeking at it. Until the time when it comes to add the vegetables. You won't want to add the cabbage and the potatoes and carrots until it's about 2 to 3 hours away from finish time. So I'm going to set this over here and I'm going to plug it in. And as I said, I'm going to start it on high, but then I'll cut it back in about an hour because it really is best to slow cook it. So now that we got that started, I'm going to clean this Irish mess up here. And then we're going to make our dessert. Maybe when Mickey's here later, he can do the dishes. Think that'll work? I think he will. I don't know, he might. Now I'm doing this primarily because my niece in Florida said she wants more videos and she wants me to be a part of it. She really enjoyed the last one when we did the Valentine thing, but I think she wanted me to do a cake. But I'm sorry, Marianne, no cake today. I'm going to challenge everybody, especially my kinfolks, that on St. Patrick's Day, fix an Irish meal for your family. Whether it's this one or something else. You heard that, Marianne. And if you do, I want to know what you're fixing. Okay, I'm back now. And I've already chopped up the cabbage. I've got some carrots here. And some potatoes chopped up. And I'm going to open this lid. The only time you should ever open the lid. And it's looking good. It's already feeling kind of tender. But I don't know whether you can see it or not, but there's a lot of juice. Of course, most of it's floated to the front here. And now we're going to start taking these wedges of cabbage and putting them down around the sides. All the way around. And we'll throw some potatoes here and there. This whole crock pot's going to be full of meat, potatoes, carrots, cabbage. Gonna be one big meal. Too bad Mikey can't be here to eat because every time the twin chefs cook here, they eat what they cook afterward. And both of the twin chefs love to eat. And Mikey, we go to eat buffet somewhere, you don't tell him to push back from the table. He thinks that means get up and go back to the buffet and get some more food. So sorry, Chef Mikey, you're not going to get to enjoy this unless we happen to have leftovers and share them with you. But we'll sure enjoy it. We'll think of you when we're eating it, or at least I will. I mean, this is really full, but it's going to cook down, and we'll probably. I started it out on high, but that didn't last long. I turned it down to low, so now we're going to have about 2 to 3 more hours of cooking on low, and it should be ready. again, do not take the top off again, leave it on there, because as I said, every time you take the lid off, I think that's about all I can get in there. Every time you take the lid off, you have to increase your cooking time by about 30 more minutes, and we don't want to do that. So I've got it full now. I mean absolutely full. And we're going to put the lid on here, fasten it back down, and let it cook. And we will be back. I may try to make this into 3 separate videos, because if I don't, this is going to be a very lengthy video, so I may just have this crock pot dish, corned beef and cabbage in one video, put the dessert in another video, and have the soda bread in another video. We'll see how it all turns out. But if this turns out to just be the corned beef and cabbage, be sure to look for the dessert and the soda bread, so you can see what the entire meal is like. So we'll be back. Alright, here's our complete Irish dinner. We've got our soda bread over here. We've got our green dessert over there, from the 50s, with a little dab of pistachio pudding on top. And then we got our corned beef and our cabbage, our carrots, and our potatoes. Now, one thing about the corned beef, when you take it out, it's just like the bread. You let it sit for about 15 minutes before you cut it, and you cut it against the grain. Now, if you'd like it more shredded and more tender, you would cook it in the slow cooker a little bit longer. But I think this looks pretty good. We'll see what the twin chef Mickey says about it in just a little bit. Thank you. All right, here we are, the true test. Chef Mickey's going to test our Irish dinner here. Let us know what he thinks. He's awfully quiet. Irishmen are not usually that quiet.
It's a good combination. Makes me think I'm Irish.
Well, you do come from ancestry background. I do need
Look
you.
This bread.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's soda bread. Traditional Irish bread. I do need you to taste our green dessert. I know you don't want dessert first, but we kind of need an opinion.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Well, I guess it passed that test, and I imagine when Chef Mikey sees this, he'll kind of wish he was here. Remember, St. Patrick's Day is coming up. By the time you see the video, it might be here. I want to see what everybody else fixes for St. Patrick's Day. And remember, wear green, or those little leprechauns can see you and they'll pinch you.